someone who is in moderate shape but hasn't been physically active in multiple years, what's a realistic 10K goal after 6 months of average healthy training? Nick.
All right, our final question from Nick is a really good one. This is very much related to a previous question that I think was in episode 7 about how to predict an accurate finish time in a race. And this is very, very difficult. In this particular example, Nick has been sedentary to almost sedentary for about 14 years. He's been exercising and training regularly for about 6 months, and he's wondering how close to his 49, 50-minute 10K time he can get in his upcoming 10K race. And so it's really hard. I mean, after 14 years of getting out of shape, it's going to take a lot longer than 6 months to get in shape, and especially back to that same fitness level that Nick was 14 years ago. So Nick, what I would say is actually, first and foremost, don't worry as much about your finish time as you might if you were racing regularly and in great shape. I would focus on the effort of your race. So try to run the 10K at a 10K effort, and then you'll see what your finish time is, and you can base your training paces and future race goals off that fitness level. Another really helpful strategy is to run, let's say, a 5K race 2 or 3 weeks before your 10K to get an accurate estimate of your fitness level. And you can use a running calculator like Macmillan Running to estimate your 10K finish time after you've already run that 5K race. And this strategy is really helpful because, unless you're racing 100% at 100% effort, you're never really going to know what you're capable of in a race situation. There's all those things that go on during a race that help you run faster that you're never able to duplicate in training. Your hormone levels are at a more beneficial state during a race than during just a normal faster workout that you might be doing, so you're going to be able to push yourself harder. Just knowing that it's a race and having people around you and being in that race environment and having that atmosphere is going to propel you to a faster finish time. So I think the best way to estimate your finish time is to just run a lot of races. And the good thing about running shorter races like 5K or 10K is that you can run them more frequently. It's not like a marathon where it's a one and done race. You train for it for 5 or 6 months, you run one marathon, and then you can't really race another marathon at that level for another 5 or 6 months. So it's a much more long-term endeavor. But with a 5K or a 10K, you can race one every 1 to 3 weeks if you wanted to be really aggressive, because the recovery is a lot shorter, and the damage that you do to your hormonal system and muscles and all that stuff isn't as dramatic, so you can bounce back much more quickly and run more races. So Nick, I would definitely race more frequently, and then if that's not a possibility and you really want to estimate a goal 10K time, then the next best thing is to use the faster workouts that you're doing to estimate your 10K finish time. So if you can get on the track and do, let's say, 4 by mile, or better yet, 6 times a mile. Now granted, that's a very advanced 10K specific workout, and to be honest, I don't think you're there yet, but just by way of example here, a specific workout to whatever race you're training for is the second best way to estimate your finish time. So let's just say, Nick, you want to run a 50-minute 10K, and that's 5 minutes per kilometer. If you can get on the track and run 10 by kilometer or 10 by 1,000 meters at 5 minutes per kilometer with a very short rest of maybe 1 minute of easy running in between, then you're probably likely to run that pace for the race. So look at your workouts, and if your workouts are indicative of a certain fitness level, then you can parlay that into an estimated finish time. But the best way to do it is to simply run a couple races and then go from there.